Welcome to another CEO Wisdom Pod. We have Lauren Schuivens with us. She's founder and CEO at Samavira Meditation. She's an international speaker and trainer, business mentor, and ex-Mind Valley, founder of Institute Silicon Valley Accelerator. And yeah, we're gonna talk about a bunch of topics today, namely meditation, teen founders, mindset, consciousness, peace, who knows, everything in between. This podcast is brought to you by podbuyer.com. If you want to start your own podcast, scale it, monetize it, go to podbuyer.com. Lauren, welcome to the pod. Tell me a bit more about yourself and what you're up to nowadays.
Hey, Charles, thank you for having me. Yeah. Well, what we're up to these days, yes, we are currently looking at how to scale our organization. So that's exactly what we do. I'm a certified meditation and mindfulness instructor, but it's not just me. I'm the CEO and founder, as you mentioned, of an international and global meditation brand. And we're currently figuring out how to reach many, many more people with the work that we do, because as you said, we're going to talk about a little bit of peace. It is needed these days, even more than before. So we're spending day and night, quite literally, figuring out, okay, how to grow, how to reach more people, how to increase the impact of the work that we do. Yeah.
How did you start it in life? When did you first discover meditation and entrepreneurship?
Yeah, those two don't actually naturally fit in so well, I would actually say, because, I'm, of course, an entrepreneur, I'm a founder, but I'm also a meditation guide, instructor, etc. And I had to say it took me some time to actually merge those into some kind of type of balance, or however you would like to call it. I came across meditation because I was looking for something to help me with deal with a few traumatic experiences I went through, and a typical traditional therapy, psychologists, etc., didn't really help. It helped for a bit, and then I fell back into the dark place that I was in back in the day. So about 10 years ago, I came across meditation. I thought, what is that? Heard of it, but never really tried. I got an invitation to go to Thailand, study with Buddhist monks in a Thai monastery. And I said, yep, why not? I was kind of, trying everything I could find. And that for me was so life-changing, literally, that I decided to turn this into a bigger project. Became an entrepreneur on the way. That was kind of like a side effect of the whole focus. And here we are a few years later. Yeah.
So meditation and trauma, you sort of disconnect with the sense of self, I guess, that appeases the pain. But is there like something that actually stays and that permanently eases the pain? Like, how have you gone through this?
Yeah, it's exactly what you say. You cannot go around it, you have to go through it. And I personally believe it never fully goes away. But I also personally believe that's a good thing, because the moment you can reintegrate what happened with you and, in a sense, to you in life, is the moment it helps you to become stronger. And as long as you're trying to kind of get rid of it, be done with it, it'll still keep chasing you like a shadow, always around the corner. So I believe that meditation and mindfulness really help you to integrate it in such a way that you can not only live with it, but that you can use it to your advantage for whatever else you do in life. So yeah, that's how we see it. And that makes it much more empowering as well.
Right. Because psychotherapy is quite useful to just analyze your thoughts. It's very much in the brain, right? Is meditation more in the heart?
It's actually very much both. So meditation is known as a mental practice. We work with the mind, but now that we know much more about the mind-body connection, we also see that meditation is not just for the mind; it's actually for the body as well. There's a lot of physical benefits coming from meditation. You bring up the heart. We now know we have different brains within our system, don't we? So indeed, actually, meditation turns out to help connect the brain, the heart, and the gut more strongly. The three systems inside ourselves.
And then I'm curious to hear from you why founding a startup slash the business world is hard to merge with the metaphysical world and the mindfulness world.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So, being an entrepreneur, I mean, I don't need to tell you, I probably don't need to tell most of our listeners here. It can be very intense. I mean, some of the days you don't know what's left or right. It can be such a roller coaster ride. And then when it comes to meditation, all you're trying to do is to not be caught up in your thoughts, in your ideas, in your day, in a sense. And those are such extremes, for me at least, that I found it quite hard for quite a while to go from my entrepreneurial day into a meditation practice. And to me, it led to dropping my own practice for quite a while because I just couldn't, like I said, balance them out. So for a whole long phase, I was just an entrepreneur. I was so focused on building a business that I wasn't even meditating or teaching meditation. I was just being an entrepreneur. And then there was a whole phase that I felt so calm, balanced, and zen. I found it really hard to get back into work. Now, a few years later, I got a nice balance, but it took me some time.
So how could Mind Valley scale then if both are hard to merge together?
You know, Mind Valley took quite a while. It's been almost 20 years by now. So they took some time as well, I have to say. And I was actually part of Mind Valley exactly at the time when they were scaling, when they developed the whole quest model that's now quite known. But it took them many, many years to get there as well. And you know, the founder of Mind Valley Vision, he started with meditation as well. So it's possible with practice, which is what meditation is, which is what entrepreneurship is. I guess the moment we use both our advantages, let them strengthen each other, is the moment we can actually grow. And your business can only grow as much as we do ourselves as founders, entrepreneurs, CEOs, right? So, yeah.
Feel that, yeah, mindfulness is underrated for athletes and high performers and top CEOs. It's quite important to have a bigger vision, and I wouldn't call it going to woo-woo, but being in colorful visions and having a bigger sense of purpose and embracing the spiritual aspect of everything, or just observing the stars like I do every night and the universe and understanding that, oof, there's something big out there. Um, how do you personally use meditation nowadays to propel yourself into business?
It's a great question. You're bringing up spirituality and woo, and it's true. A lot of people and still do see meditation mindfulness as such, but there's so many CEOs these days who meditate, so many huge names in our world who credit meditation to a big part of their growth. So the moment you are able to help or let meditation mindfulness turn you into a stronger, more resilient person is the moment you can also let your business grow more. Actually, for me, it's very much connected to not trying to be in control as much, even to be in control of the growth of your business, which is in essence what many of us are actually trying to do. All the plans, all the timelines, all the budgeting, all the things that we need our mind for, that are kind of moving us further away from letting our business grow. If we're putting too much pressure on it, if we're approaching it from a too much of a mental and rational perspective. So that's again where meditation mindfulness can come in, taking a step back, looking at the bigger picture, letting go of control, also tapping into your own inner voice, however you see it, whether it's intuition, whether it's the universe, whether it's, I don't know, we have different names and words for it. But many big names, many CEOs leading huge companies say that a lot of their best ideas came through meditation, mindfulness, and psychedelics, which in a sense, again, has a connection point to one another. So I think the world is opening up to this more and more, especially also as entrepreneurs and founders.
Yeah, I've had my periods in which meditation was predominant via psychedelics, but nowadays I find myself wanting to fast track my mental state and get in my insights quicker. Um, a good meditation doesn't hurt every now and then, but I don't know. Yeah, meditation. I've did these 10 days retreats, and maybe that sort of didn't help be in the depth in which I could meditate. You know, it's just like sports in the gym. If you stop going to the gym for like 10 days and you go back again, you can lift way more weight. So I think I overdid the meditation thing, if that's even a thing. While what they teach is pretty much the other way around, is that you need to meditate all the time to sort of detach yourself from ego. And yeah, I had sort of a problem with just meditating forever, because it seems that this is the monk life, and I think I have something way bigger to offer to the world than just meditating in a temple, than be cool with myself. Because I don't think I'm a taker in this world. I don't think I'm a threat to society. If I would, I'd probably lock myself in a monastery forever. But I think I have something big to offer. So I was like, yeah, I need to get the fuck out of here and just take the lessons I've learned and spread that to the world. Did you ever had these thoughts?
Yes, big time. You're so on point with this. I love it. And this is also, it reminds me of this quote that it's very easy to meditate when you're in a monastery. It's easy to meditate when you're in a cave, but that's not what meditation is for, in a sense. It is indeed meant to help us get better at life. We're not meditating to become amazing meditators. And yes, you can do such a thing as meditating too much in a sense. It's again brings me back to what I said before, and losing that balance or falling out of the mindful entrepreneurial type lifestyle. And the thing is, there is no one size fits all in meditation, first of all. So a lot of people are using a style in meditation or a technique in meditation. It doesn't really work. They're forcing themselves, which goes against the whole principle of meditation and mindfulness in the first place. But also what we are very much focusing on is how we can make meditation more efficient. So you don't need to meditate for an hour, 2 hours per day, but you can still reap the benefits. And exactly the rest of the day you can use to put yourself out there, do the work you feel you're meant to do in this world, like you have, like I have, like many of us have. And that's very much what we're focusing on. I was trained by Buddhist monks in monastery, but I brought it back here and I'm really merging it with our fast-paced lifestyle and how we can integrate it in our types of daily lives, not theirs. Because indeed, I like going back every now and then, silent retreats, I've done it, all of it. But that's kind of like the once per year, twice per year deepening of the practice. But other than that, my daily practice doesn't look like that at all. For me, it was not realistic. Like I hear you say as well, I wasn't able to do it. And that's also why I'm here talking about the version of meditation that is useful for the lives that we live here now and with our businesses. Exactly that.
Yeah, it seems I'm reading on your website here that the trauma that you went through was quite severe, right? Like someone took control over your body to fulfill their wants, I guess, if you could call it that way. There's a bunch of women every day that are being raped in society. Like, how do you recover from that?
Yeah, it's true. That was indeed the direct trigger that I was referring to. More women are raped than we even know. Statistics are still not complete, so it's incredible. Again, it took a whole long time. And like I said, traditional therapy only helped as much. So for me, it was really about looking at all the thoughts, all the beliefs about myself that I brought up. For a long time, I thought it was my fault, that I wasn't clear enough saying no, and everything that a lot of women and men who go through this think afterwards, and blaming, victim blaming or self-blaming in that sense. First of all, it's time. Second of all, for me, it was meditation and mindfulness that helped. And third of all, is about accepting and integrating it instead of trying to get rid of it, which is what I tried to do for a long time. And trust me, it doesn't go away. It only becomes stronger that way, which we all know. What you're trying to run away from is what chases you even more. So I think the formula of those three things is what helped me. And it's way more common than we think. And that's indeed the reason why I started this business. And there are more and more people who find us because of reasons as such. And meditation and mindfulness seem to be a very powerful modality to deal with it and to help with it.
Thank you for sharing that. There's also big issues in this world, like wars left and right being waged. How can humanity do better on that level?
That's an amazing question as well. Also very timely because we're just looking into social impact projects. How can we use meditation mindfulness and what projects can we organize with other communities or with other organizations to help refugees, people who are displaced, people who are going through war, people who fled from war, etc. So we're actually working on that right now as well. There's a quote by the Dalai Lama that I really like. For me, it's very inspiring. He says that if every 8-year-old in the world would meditate, we would be able to reach world peace within 1 generation. And I really believe that's true. If every young person in the world would meditate and develop a regular practice, our minds change, our bodies change, our mindset, our lives, our connection to ourselves and one another changes. So I believe within 1 generation, the world would be completely different. And that's one of our, not only guiding principles, but one of our inspirations to continue the work we do.
Nowadays, with your business, what type of clients do you go after?
We actually have different programs because we see different people have different needs. There's no one size fits all in this. We have trainings for people who want to start or deepen their own practice. We also have teacher trainings. More and more people are looking at sharing meditation and mindfulness with others. And we have corporate wellness programs as well, which is more adjusted to the corporate setting, which is quite different from the general meditation trainings that we normally give. Very different target audience. So different programs, same principles, same teachings, but packaged differently so it fits the people we're speaking to. So yeah, we have something for everyone, we like to think, but in a different package, a different jacket.
And typically, what do you do for them that's unique?
Sorry, what do I do for them that's
Unique.
unique? So we teach 7 different meditation techniques, because you said you've been to the silent retreats. They use one specific technique. It does or doesn't work. Sometimes it starts working after a long practice, going back many times, diving in many hours. Yep, I know it. We try to be much more efficient than that. We teach 7 different techniques and help people personalize their meditation style so they can become independent meditators, guide themselves through the practice, adjust it to what they need on a given day in a given scenario. And that way you can go deeper into the practice, need less time to go deeper into the practice. So you don't have to meditate for an hour, you could do it in 10 minutes time. And you can also reap the benefits much more powerfully that way. So that is definitely unique about our method, because I still, unfortunately, don't see this happen. Perhaps not at all, but not enough.
Right. Well, meditation, the corporate world, yeah, I'm still not super used. And I wouldn't say corporate world, I meant more like in the startup world or founders, most are quite OCD about their startups. They invest every second of the day into their startups in the hopes that they make it or not, which is an interesting mindset thinking about it. Not much recovery, right? And like I said, if you don't focus on recovery, like how can you grow? So think startup founders, generally speaking, they should give more attention to the recovery area of their life. Now, you've spoken on stage at Mind Valley, and you've been with Toastmasters for some time. Currently, you were having some panic attacks up there, and you totally froze that time. How did you learn to become a great public speaker?
Still practicing. Still to this day. I mean, being a great public speaker is still on my wish list, on my bucket list of things working towards. But yeah, practice and time. Same as with meditation, same as with going to the gym. We want to train our muscles. We have to go to the gym regularly. If we want to train our minds, we have to meditate regularly. If you want to become a great public speaker, you have to speak regularly. And yeah, and I think the key, kind of the formula, is being not only grateful, but also proud of yourself for where you are now. Accept where you are now, and then clearly keep in mind where you want to go. Because if you're only focused on where you want to go, same with business growth, but not acknowledge and are not accepting of where you are now, how far you've already come, I don't think you can go much further. No.
I agree with that. Nowadays, yeah, you seem to study the greats. You've spent time with Jim Quicks, and Vishant, I believe the CEO of Mind Valley's name is. What have you learned from smart and sage type of people that you've studied lately?
The main thing that stood out for me is that they're just normal people, just like us. And one of the key things that they have done really well is indeed speak about themselves and public speak in such a way that they can really reach people with their teachings and with their speaking. Because there are a lot of people who are not great public speakers, but they have such value to share. And then there are some people who are amazing public speakers, but what they're speaking about is not that amazing. And the great minds that I've worked with, that I've studied with and from, and spoke on stage with, in a sense, they have found that formula of both. They have amazing content to speak about, and they know how to frame it in such a way that it really speaks to us and not just rationally. So bringing those two together, I believe, can help us also put ourselves out there much stronger and help eventually grow our organizations much better as well.
Love it. Well, Lauren, thanks for the wisdom you provided today. Where can people find out more about you?
Thank you so much. We are on samavirameditation.com, on Instagram, Facebook, website, LinkedIn, wherever you want to try and find us, Samavira Meditation.